Rising, grand rising to all my investors and stuff out there, man. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for coming through, tapping back into another great episode of the entrepreneurial conversations that we are going to have today. We're going to have a great conversation. We're going to have a great episode and what have you. Hopefully y'all listened to last show, Boss Mindset, Making Boss Moves. It was a great episode. So you definitely don't want to miss out on that. So if you haven't heard it, haven't seen it, watched it, go back and watch it, man, because this is very, very good information that, I'm going to try to give y'all, because this is what it's all about, man. Passing it forward. Whatever I research that I do and what have you, I want to be able to pass it forward to the next entrepreneurs, you know what I'm saying? Because we all at the beginning stages, this is what entrepreneur conversation is about. This is for all entrepreneurs, but mainly, I want to be able to tap into the new entrepreneurs that's looking for help, looking for information and what have you, you at the beginning stages of entrepreneurship, or you right there somewhere in the middle and what have you. So hopefully you can find this pod show, beneficial to what you need and what have you. So this is what it's all about. But before I get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that notification bell. And also, man, smash on that like button so the algorithm know we dropping real content over here, guys. You know what it is. But today topic at hand, what we're going to talk about is avoid getting tricked out of your spot. Because it's very important to understand, man, as an entrepreneur, especially you new in the game and you have created momentum for yourself. You have a vision and you also have opportunity surrounding you. You cannot let people trick you out of your spot, right? You cannot put yourself in a trick bag to where you are making bad decisions because you decided to make it off emotions, right? Rather than making your moves off of logic. And a lot of times you see that entrepreneurs, you have something good going on. You have created yourself momentum, but you allow a situation to occur that you put yourself in or created around you, right? Because sometimes you got to understand, as an entrepreneur, we can create the environment or the situation that's now surrounding us because of the bad choices that we made, right? So you want to make sure you be mindful of that, because especially as you at the beginning stages, you want to get all the momentum as possible. You want to get going. You want to be able to create. You want to be able to get your whatever you're doing as an entrepreneur, you want to get it going in the right direction, right? But if you start thinking and making moves, if you just put it like this, if you lead off of emotions rather than logic, then 9 out of 10 times you're going to put yourself in a situation that you could avoid it by all costs. And what I mean by putting yourself in a trick bag, I'm going to use Shannon Sharpe as an example, because we all know, if you haven't heard, I know some people might have heard already about what's going on with Shannon Sharpe. He just settled a lawsuit for, I won't believe, somewhere around 20 million to a lady that he met. I want to say around 2 or 3 years ago, right? And I'm not blaming it on the lady, right? Because Shannon Sharpe, he put himself in that trick bag. Shannon Sharpe had everything going for himself. He had a job at ESPN, right? He had his pod show. He have his podcast shows. I think it's the Nightcap and it's Club Shay Shay, right? And he was about to, I think, I want to be correct, one of his sponsors, I don't know if it was ESPN or one of his sponsors, he was waiting to make a deal, sign a contract for, I want to believe, $100 million, right? But since this lawsuit occurred, it messed up everything to the point where he's no longer going to get that $100 million contract that he was about to get, right? So that could have took him to the next level. That's something that $100 million is not something to play with, right? That's not something that grows on tree, right? But he allowed himself, he created the environment around him with making bad decisions he put himself in the trick bag, right? I guess the lady that just won a lawsuit against him was, I guess at the time she was, I want to say 19. He met her at the gym. To my knowledge, he went over there and introduced himself to this young lady, right? I think she was 19 at the time, and she was doing OnlyFans and what have you, right? So if Shannon Sharpe would have thought more off of logic and understood the situation and would just went to the gym and just worked out and let it be what it was. Just go to the gym, work out, do what you need to do, and carry on about your day and take care of your business. But once you start leading off of emotions, meaning he wasn't emotional or nothing like that, but emotion far as feeling, you see attracted young lady, which yeah, she was 19. Sometimes you cannot allow the way you are feeling towards somebody to lead you, right? Because this could have been avoided if he, like I said, if he just went to the gym, worked out, did his thing, and went back, carried on about his day, and took care of his business. This could have been avoided. Yes, I think he have other pending lawsuits, which I don't know the details of that. But this one particular right here, I think this one really caused him to miss out on that $100 million contract, right? That's why, like I said, do not put yourself in a trick bag and trick yourself out of your spot and what have you. Like this right here is a self-inflicted wound that Shannon Sharpe created for himself. Steady, it was the other way around, right? So this is what is going to be the segue into what I want to talk about, far as what the topic is for today. So like I said, today's topic is avoid getting tricked out of your spot. So ways you can do 5 moves you can do, to make sure you don't put yourself in the trick bag, so you can avoid tricking yourself out of the spot, right? You got to understand this, man. It's very important because a lot of times, like I said, we put ourselves in situations that we could have easily avoided, right? And on the other flip side of things too, before I get started, you do have people out here that want to see you lose. You got people out here that don't want to see you win. You got people out here that will want you to fail, right? Some people will help try to sabotage you with, telling you false information, talking you out of something that you could have created that was special and what have you, right? So these, like I said, these are 5 moves, smart moves you can make to help protect you from getting tricked out of your spot and what have you. So this is very important to understand that. So number one thing on the list is protect your vision with clear boundaries, right? So what I mean by that is don't let others talk you out of your idea, right? Because a lot of times we allow family members, friends, co-workers, acquaintances, people that you may socialize with, people on social media and what have you. You allow people to trick you out of your spot by allowing them to talk you out of an idea that you have, right? This could have been an idea that may have been able to be $100 million idea that you have, but you allow somebody to talk you out of it because 9 out of 10 times, if you have an idea that people feel like this is a winner, if they don't want to see you win, they don't want to see you make it, they're going to talk you out of it, right? Then sometimes you have somebody try to talk you out of idea just for them to take your idea and do it themselves, right? Not saying they're going to succeed at doing it because you are the creator of this idea, right? So you know how to put it together, but since you let somebody talk you out of it, it's over with, right? So never let anybody do that because the point of it and the way you want to stay focused is you want to make sure that you stay rooted in your purpose, right? Stay rooted in your purpose. Trust the direction that you're going to go in, right? Because that's very important, right? Because you got to protect your vision, right? Because the vision is everything. Because if you cannot visualize the idea that you have created, right? You don't have no vision for it or direction to take it to, then it's going to be easy for people to talk you out of it, right? Talk you out of the idea you have. But if you stay rooted in the purpose of why you are creating this idea, the purpose of the idea, and what have you, and you have the direction of where you want to take this idea and you trust that direction, it's going to be hard for anybody to talk you out of that idea, right? It don't matter what they say. Like I said, you have people around you that don't want to see you win, right? But once you continue to stay rooted in that aspect of things, making sure that you are protecting your vision with clear boundaries, because that's one thing you want to set is boundaries, right? If you, and that's one thing, another thing that will help people, will help you from stopping that's one thing that will help you from others talking you out of your idea is setting clear boundaries, and they know not to cross that whatsoever. So it makes it a lot more easy for you to be able to stay focused, to stay rooted in what the direction that you're trying to take your idea in. So it doesn't matter. Just understand that, man. It doesn't matter if nobody else see the direction that you are taking this idea in. It doesn't matter because it's your idea. It's the direction, because a lot of times you have other entrepreneurs that have great ideas, right? But they don't have a direction to take that idea in, right? So it's a lot of times they, it's not just the people around them talking about their idea. They was already there. They already had one foot in and one foot out. So it wasn't that hard for somebody to come along and talk them out of the idea. So that's why it's very important to protect your vision with clear boundaries and let people know, man, this is what you're going to do. It don't matter what you say. Respect what I have, right? My idea that I have. You don't have to like it, but you're going to have to respect it and what have you. So that's number one on the list. And number two on the list is you want to make sure that you document everything. You know what I'm saying? Everything you want to. And when it comes to your ideas and stuff like that, and you have this idea and it's putting you in the perfect spot that you need to be in, because people are now looking at you and they really reacting to what you have to offer, right? And they, verbally telling you like, man, keep on going with this idea. I can't wait. I can't wait till you get it done, because I'm going to buy from you. I'm going to purchase something from you, right? So make sure you document everything, because the thing about it is, man, you don't want to go off of word of mouth of anything, because that's going to be easy for somebody to take your idea. So if you are, say for instance, you coming in and you seek a partnership with somebody and you bringing in the idea and what have you, you want to make sure that you document everything. That's what I mean by documenting everything, because sometimes you might come in early as an entrepreneur and you have a opportunity to partner up with somebody, right? That can help you. Like you got the idea, and the person you partner up with may have the financial backing to make sure this idea, to help bring this idea into fruition. So you want to make sure you make sure you keep a contracts. Definitely when it comes to a partnership, make sure you had a partnership contract, get that in writing. Any agreements, you get that in writing. Conversations that y'all have, you get that in writing too, right? So you want to make sure you just don't go off word of mouth. You want to keep a paper trail, because that's easy to go back and be like, hey, this is what we agreed to. This is the contract. This is what we got in writing. Because if you go about word of mouth, it's going to be easy for somebody to be able to take your idea, especially if it's somebody that's coming in on the other end of the partnership who have the financial and you have the idea. It's going to be easy for them to take your idea and what have you. So you don't want to get played on that end. And a lot of times people get played off of word of mouth. Just don't do it. Like my wife, her first business partner that she had, right? My wife, she's creating her own home health and / home care business. So you got a medical side and you got a non-medical side. First thing I told her was make sure you get a partnership contract. Make sure you get a contract first before you move on, because it don't matter how cool you are with a person. It don't matter if you grow up in a sandbox. Personal, business is business. Business can go either way. Business can go up, it can go down. It can go either way. So you want to make sure you have that agreement, that partnership agreement contract written down before you move on to anything. And I'm glad that I told her that, because that situation fell through. And the whole time, her partner wasn't looking really for a partner. They was looking for somebody that's going to help them do the work and try to take majority of the percentage. So once the contract was drawn up and the contract was sent over to my wife, and the contract was very one-sided. And like I told my wife, I said, look, for her to allow that person that made this contract up and she seen it before she sent it over to you, if she sent that contract over to you and she looked at it before hand, that lets you know everything about she's not looking for a partner, right? She's just looking for somebody who can help her bring her idea to light. She's not looking for somebody that's going to partner up and help her out and, run this thing as a business together and what have you. So make sure you document everything, especially if you coming in as an entrepreneur and you have a partnership opportunity with somebody, right? Just don't go off word of mouth. Number 3 on the list is learn the game before you play it, right? You definitely want to learn the game, right? You want to educate yourself. And that's one thing you should always do. Educate yourself on the industry that you get into. Educate yourself on your competitors. You definitely want to, because you want to see what your competitors not offering, what you can do that they not doing, right? So you studying the field that you in, the industry. Okay, I'm gonna educate myself about this industry that I'm trying to get into. Okay, these are my competitors. This is what the services that they offer. This is services that's needed. This is what people that's buying within this industry, this is what they asked for. This is what they want. This is something that they feel like they can benefit from. So this may be the opportunity for you to create something that people are looking for, that people feel like is missing within the industry. This is where you come in at, right? So then you also want to study the legal basics of things, because you always want to be compliant. You want to make sure you're doing things the right way. You're not doing anything that's going to get you jammed up, because that's one thing you don't want to start off as an entrepreneur. You don't want to start off early putting yourself in legal troubles, right? Doing things that's unethical, doing things that's not that's not permitted and what have you. So that's very important to understand. That definitely educate yourself in your industry. That's very important. And educate yourself and learn your competitors, because that's going to even make you even stronger, because now you know your competitors, you know who you competing up, you know who you going up against, you know who you competing with. It's not, don't take the word competitors as, or compete as, you solely focus on them. No, you just studying what. It's always good to know who is in that field, because you don't want to do the same thing that they doing. You don't want to offer, yes, you're going to offer the same services, but you want to also add some different services. You want to add things that they're not doing. You're going to have the basic service, because everybody in the industry got the basic service. Because everybody, you got your basic service, then you can add some upgrades. You can add other services within that list that they don't offer. They may not have the experience in. They may not even know about, what have you. They might not even have the credentials to be able to do that service. And you do. So you want to be able to make sure you are studying your competitors. You make sure you want to educate yourself on the industry that you're in, because you don't want to jump into an industry because you heard, okay, this industry right here makes a lot of money, right? I'm going to create something so I can be able to cement myself within this industry, plant myself, not cement, but plant myself within this industry. But like I tell people, money only going to last so long. You got to be passionate about what you do, right? Because at the end of the day, if you're not passionate about what you do, then it don't matter how much money this industry is, people are making within this industry. You're not going to last that long because you're not passionate about it. Just like you have people getting into the nursing field, right? Going into the hospital, getting a nursing license and what have you. But because off the strength of they heard that the medical industry is making a lot of money, nurses make a lot of money, traveling nurses make even more money and what have you. But you have a lot of nurses get into the field and they end up quitting or bouncing job to job because it's not something this is something they're not passionate about. See, when you get in industry like that, taking care of people, you got to be passionate about that. You just can't jump in that type of industry because you heard it makes a lot of money and you can make a lot of money within that industry. No, it don't work like that, because at the end of the day, if you're not passionate about taking care of people, right? Not just taking care of, you gotta, wipe butts, you gotta do a lot of things. And if you're not passionate about doing none of that stuff, I'm not saying you got to be passionate about wiping butts, but I'm just saying it's a lot of things that come with being a nurse, having patients that you got to take care of. So it comes with a lot. So you got to be patient. You got to be passionate about being a nurse and what have you. So just don't jump in the industry because you heard it makes a lot of money and you get into something that you gonna find yourself out of it real quick. So you don't want to put yourself in a trick bag and trick yourself out of a spot which you wouldn't even want to be in the first place, right? So then another thing is move in silence, because a lot of times, we get happy, we want to tell everybody what we doing because, like I said, we in the era of social media, right? Where everybody want to be flexing on social media. Everybody want to have that look at me moment. Look at me, look what I'm doing. Look what I got going on, right? Move in silence. See, a lot of us lost that art in life, is moving in silence because of social media. Like, everybody want to tell what they doing on social media. So move in silence. Don't overshare your plans with people who haven't earned your trust yet. A lot of time, and that's the big. Let me say that again. Move in silence while you building your power. Move in silence. Move in silence. Right. Move in silence. Don't overshare plans with people who haven't earned your trust yet. Right. That's the key thing. Right. Don't do that. See, a lot of times we think we know people and we really don't. You don't know people motives, right? A lot of people have bad intentions. Some people don't have good intentions to keep your ideas to themselves, because you overshare your plans with somebody else. They might go back and tell another person they know that's within that same industry. And next thing you know, they doing things that you were going to do, right? So now it's going to make it look like you copying them and what have you. So don't overshare. Matter of fact, don't tell no one what you are doing, right? Move in silence. Get it done. And what Kendrick Lamar said, sometimes you got to pop out and show them. When the time is right, when you got everything going like you want, you can pop out and you can show them. Then pop back in. Pop out and show them, right? Move in silence. You can pop out and show them online. Boom, boom, boom. With your content that you have, right? Just pop out and show them, right? Number 4 is choose collaboration over clout. Once again, choose collaboration over clout, right? Don't get, by me saying that, is don't get caught up in the who's, right? Stay focused on building, right? Building with solid, reliable people instead of, popularity or quick response. And you got to understand that let me say that once again, choose collaboration over clout. Because a lot of times, we see these online influencers, right? Got large following, right? Then you reach out to them and you thinking that they're going to help you build your brand, help you get people over to you, get eyes on what you doing. And I'm here to tell you, it don't work that way at all. I don't care how many influencer can have the most followers in the world. That doesn't equate to people coming to your brand, bringing eyes on your brand. It doesn't equate to sales. It don't equate to none of that, right? It don't matter how many, because at the end of the day, you got people out here now playing influencer to promote their stuff, and they don't get not one person to come over to their page, come over to their site, and what have you, right? You have some people paying influencers $100 just to promote their stuff, and they not even getting no clicks, no views, no traffic. They not getting anything, right? So don't choose don't choose popularity over somebody that's going to be reliable, somebody you can collaborate with, right? That's going to help you, that is solid, someone that already done built up a brand, built up their business, right? Somebody that can really help, you get going in the right direction, stay focused, right? So you definitely don't want to trick yourself, put yourself in that trick bag and trick yourself out of the spot by going after popularity rather than somebody who's going to be reliable, right? Because now, like I said, you're going over to this influencer, paying them all this money, and they not even really doing anything. They not even helping you bring in traffic and none of that. So now you done wasted 2 or 3 months, to where you could have found, if you could have collaborated with somebody who was a solid person, who was a reliable person, and you could have built it up like that, right? But instead, you chose clout. You chose somebody that was a famous influencer, but they not really moving traffic, right? Like that. They not even. They may have other people that they charging to promote their stuff, and they still not even moving traffic for them. So you don't want to get caught up in that game and get tricked back, because you got to understand, it's hard to get in the algorithm, right? It's hard to, get traffic going your way. That's why they say you got to be consistent. You got to be at it every day. You got to show up every day, right? You got to let people know, hey, this is me, this is what I do, and what have you. But, if you allow a influencer, because you feel like, okay, you got this popular influencer, right? I'm going to let them do the work. I'm going to let them promote my stuff for me. Don't put yourself in that trick bag. Don't trick yourself out of your spot, because you might be in a good spot right now to where you can do it yourself. You can promote your own stuff, right? You have people may be anticipating, because they heard of what you might have already told somebody, and word got around like, oh, for real, I can't wait. That's dope, and what have you. But you steady tricked yourself out the spot because you felt like, okay, I can do it, but this influencer, man, got a lot of people. A lot of people show up on their lives. A lot of people comment on they posts. Man, let me go ahead and pay them to do it, so that I ain't even got to worry about it, because I can get a lot of people that this is not a microwave. You can't cook people up to come and give you traffic of what you doing and what have you. So you got to understand that, man. Choose collaboration over clout, right? Don't get caught up on the who's. And a lot of times we get caught up on the who's, and majority of these influencers is not even doing it like that, right? They don't even got it like that. So you got to be careful not to trick yourself out of your spot at all, man. When it comes to these influencers, and right, make sure you have, if you want to do a collaboration, make sure you are building solid relationships with reliable people, and not trying to build relationship with influencers who just want to take your money, who's not going to really put in the work for you, who's not really going to bring in traffic at all. So you want to make sure that this what you are doing, right? And the last thing is on the list is build ownership, right? Build ownership. And what I mean by build ownership, not just attention. You don't just want to get attention. You want to build ownership, right? What I mean by that is don't trade control of your business for quick money or fake support, right? Keep equity, protect your brand, build long-term wealth, not just momentary status. And that's what it is, right? Build ownership. And a lot of times, we give up our control of our business, right? Because you might have somebody come in, right? They might see an idea that you have that they know. You may not even know how much money you can, if you do it the right way, that you can get off this idea that you have, right? But you have somebody come in acting like they really support you. In the long run, they trying to trick you out of your spot. So they can take your idea by offering you, okay, yeah, this is dope. This is dope. Man, look, I got this X amount of money for you, man, to get that idea from you, right? And you looking at the money like, man, or they trying to take a percentage of your business and you bite off more than you can chew. And next thing you know, you giving them all the control of your business, the large sum of percentage of your business in money. And next thing you know, they done tricked you out of your spot, right? And we seen this in business. We seen this happen, right? We seen people, I don't know what happened, but my wife worked at this job. I'm gonna use my wife as an example again. She worked at this job years ago, right? It was like a company. I think they give out loans to business owners. So they also, if the loan default and what have you, they would go. They have a team where they can go collect um, the equipment, the stuff that the business had and what have you, right? If it's automobiles, whatever it is. I think it was a gold gym up there on Michigan Road that the company that my wife worked for, they had control over that. So once I guess that whoever owned that gym defaulted on the loan, they was able to go and take the equipment from there and what have you, right? So to make a long story short, I don't know what happened. It was two brothers that own it. I don't know what happened, right? But they did, I guess, agreement, partnership with a company. I don't know if they try to. Sometimes people bring in other corporations to even get more exposure, right? To be able to branch out and what have you. I think they bit off more than King Chew and gave that company more percentage of the business that they built, right? And next thing you know, they end up firing them. The business. So the business. Let me get this. Let me clear this up. Right, make it clear for y'all. These two brothers had the business. So by them giving up more percentage of the business that they created, they end up in turn after a while end up getting fired from their own business that they created. And that's what I mean. Don't trick yourself out of your spot, right? Don't give up the control of your business because you want quick money, right? Or you feeling like somebody supports you, but really they trying to get underneath you and take your business from you, take your idea from you, and what have you, right? So you want to make sure you keep the equity in this business that you have, that you're trying to grow. Protect your brand at all costs because you got vultures out here. You got people, trust me, you have people out here that see you have a dope brand and they would try to find a way to be able to collaborate with you, be able to partnership with you, or come with you, and they feel like, okay, I can let me offer them this X amount of money to see if I can be able to buy my way into their brand, so I can get a piece of their ownership, and hopefully, if I can get a deal to where I can get majority of the percentage of it, right? So you don't know people intentions. You got people out here who really don't have good intentions behind you, or helping you and what have you. So you got to be mindful of that, man. Don't trick yourself out of your spot at all, right? Because you got people out here to run game on you. People were trying to find a way to get within your circle just to take what you have built from you, right? So you make sure you don't lose control of your business because, like I said, quick money goes quick. You lose it quick. Spend it quick. Let the quick money that you then took, you could have made more off of it if you just kept ownership of your business and you kept on going and doing what you're supposed to do. You would have made X amount more money, X amount more money than a deal that you took for quick money, right? So now, next thing you know, it's over with, right? It's done. So you don't want to trick yourself out of your spot, man. You want to make sure you keep you keep your brain, you keep your business, keep going, keep working hard, right? So you can build long-term wealth. Not just don't settle for status. Build long. It's all about longevity. Build long-term wealth, guys, man, and make sure you protect yourself at all times because you got vultures out here, man. You got people out here that will try to take from you. People try to take your business from you. People are trying to find a way to partner up with you, do a collab with you, but they don't have no true intentions behind it because they trying to take what's yours and what have you. And make sure you learn the game. Learn the game. That's important. Learn the industry that you're getting into. Learn who your competitors are, right? Learn the legal basis so you make sure you stand compliant, right? And move in silence. Don't overshare your plans with anybody. Like I said, document everything. With you coming in to being an entrepreneur and you have a partnership opportunity with somebody, like I said, you may have the idea, they have the finance, and y'all like, hey, we can do a partnership together. Make sure you get everything down and right. Make sure you're getting that contract. Make you getting that contract before you move forward to anything. Make sure you got that contract down first, right? And make sure it's solid. Any agreements, make sure you have it on paper. Conversations, make sure you have it in writing. Don't take word of mouth at all. You can't take word of mouth to the bank. You can't take word of mouth to anything. Make sure you have paperwork. Make sure you have everything. And protect your visions. Make sure you protect your visions, man, all the time, because people will try to distract you. People will try to get you off course of what you're trying to do as an entrepreneur. But other than that, guys, man, thank y'all for tapping into the entrepreneur conversations, guys, man. Hopefully y'all enjoyed the show for today. Hopefully y'all got some information that y'all can use. And, this is what we doing, man. Every Monday, man. Check back, tap in. That's why I say, man, make sure you subscribe to the show. Hit the subscribe button now. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you can be notified. So when you wake up in the morning, you have that notification on your phone telling you, hey, it's a new episode ready for entrepreneurial conversation. And make sure you hit that like button, man. Hit that like button so the algorithm know we're dropping real content over here. Thank you, guys. Once again, it's your host at the hour. Every hour is see y'all later, guys. Yep. And yes. And another thing is, man, invest. Yes, the brand, invest brand. We slowly is coming back slowly but surely, working on the site, trying to get things back up going again. So for right now, I'm just doing these podcast shows. And once we get to that point, I definitely will be letting y'all know the merch is back up and we ready to get it.